There we go. We back at it. Hey, yo, what it is and what's good, y'all? Welcome back to 280 Plus, the social media podcast where I take the conversations off the timeline and go beyond the tweets. I'm your host, Los Def, and I'm here with my co-host, Marijani. This is we are recapping our last episode of Suburban Screams, John Carpenter's Suburban Screams. And I think it's been a treat, man. People have been seeing you on the podcast week after week. This is like 5 weeks in a row, you know what I mean? And then we blended you into the regular show. I don't know, like, see, maybe I conned you into you being a co-host permanently. I don't know. Did I? Or
you did a little bit. I don't mind your little segment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's always good talking to you because you got very strong opinions. Behind the scenes, there's a little tension between us, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, air too much out, whatever, but I felt like we cool. We had to push the recording back. Night before I thought she wasn't talking to me. Like she wasn't fucking
are
me.
We beefing? I was just going through some personal stuff. Like one thing about me, you'll know if I'm intentionally ignoring you. One, I have my read receipts on. Two,
okay. Well, I don't have Apple, so like I might not see yours.
Yeah. Two, if I'm not on Twitter or Instagram, that means I'm just not on my phone at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm
not
I know
the type
you probably wouldn't think of it like that.
Yeah, I'm not the type to see. I don't like when people do that to other people. So like, I'm not the type to be like, oh, you can't respond to me, but you tweeting. And I'm like, yeah. I don't, and I somebody had told me that it's like, yeah, like I don't, they don't do that because like I don't pay your phone bill, and it's like, yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
communication is separate. Even though it's public and we can all see each other, it's separate. Like a phone, communication is different than what you want to do on social media, and I ain't gonna be clocking you.
Yeah, that's true.
Based on that.
Yeah, now, I was just frustrated. I put my phone down at 6 p.m. and did not pick it back up until I texted you.
Hey,
and I was like, and then when I texted you, I remember I was like, oh shit, we were supposed to record.
Well, yeah, and then I thought because we had gotten, on Twitter, we just like it was a little bit of it to say something like, oh, I'd never confirmed with her, you know what I mean? But I figured we knew, and I was like, oh shit, she mad at me. Like that's So, all right. So let's get into the last episode of Suburban Screams. This episode 6, it's called Phone Stalker. Now, when we talk about scary shit, man, having a stalker has to be up there. Like for women, especially. I think for men too, especially if it's on some Fatal Attraction, Fatale. You ever see that movie Fatale with Michael Ealy and Hilary Swank? Yeah, like some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is definitely a fear. That's scary. That's some scary shit, whatever. So I guess before we get into the premise and what happened with her, have you ever experienced any stalking in your lifetime?
Yeah, when I was in my younger days with like females, because females get, I don't know, on Fatale, that it was like Hilary Swank was doing the stalking, ain't?
Yeah.
So yeah, females get real weird. And she would like, this one girl, she would like text me off of all of her like she would get different numbers and text me off of it. I don't even know who the fuck it was. And then I would just put 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're being weird.
Okay.
So that's probably as far as it goes. But I've never had nobody stalking my actual premise or.
Okay. Yeah, I've had the same phone number for like, it's almost 19 years. I've had the same phone number. So like, and people will be like, I know people change their phone numbers. They'll be like, oh, I don't want people contacting me. I don't really have too many residual people like just that I don't want to talk to me, like contacting me. I've had a few people play on my phone. Like it was one time, like I think it was like last year. Like somebody was, it was a female. Like she was like on my phone, like just like, and it was being dumb, whatever. And like, oh, I know where you live and this and that, whatever. And like kind of describing where I live. And I'm like thinking like, oh shit, like who the fuck?
Were you younger? Or this was like adulthood?
This is adulthood, but I was living where I'm living, whatever, and like they were saying whatever, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was just like, yo, I grabbed my piece, I grabbed my gun, whatever, because they was talking about they was gonna pull up on me. I say, don't fucking pull up to my crib, yo, like you don't want to fucking do that shit, like whatever.
The side and niggas get.
Yeah, nah, don't fuck with my yo. I grabbed my gun, you know what I mean, and I was sitting on the top of my car, where like with my piece out, like I'm like, yo, don't fuck with me, like don't, like, you know what I mean, because it could go left, you know what I mean. So ain't nobody come to my crib. but it was weird. It was weird. But
So you were just
again,
out there sitting.
yeah, for a little bit, good 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, like waiting for them to, call me, whatever. And
You're
normally
looking like,
and the mistake was I don't pick up calls that be like, when they say unrestricted or whatever. I normally don't pick that shit up. But I was like, all right, who the fuck is this? Like, and then they was playing, and I'm like, see, Bears. I mean, but it's so rare, so sporadic, so I'm seldom that I don't be worried about that, whatever. But I think it depends on how you move too. Like with men, it's like it's how you treat people. With women, sometimes it ain't even what y'all did. It's always the other person like that got issue with you. So I try to make sure I treat people good. You know what I mean? Too, so you don't want to hurt me, like or you don't want to stalk me and do some crazy shit.
right.
But, all right, so this lady, right? So she looked like a middle-aged woman. She lived in Holtzville, Long Island, right? And so this lady, she saved all the stalking messages that she's been receiving. So one thing that happened with her, she had a broke off engagement, right? 5 years she was engaged to this guy, and she walked in on her man with another woman, right? You know what I mean? So like so then that started her like single journey, you know what I mean? And her name is Beth, and she's heartbroken, but people describe her to be a person in good spirits, right? And then there's an incident where she's celebrating a birthday, and her ex-fiance comes to bring her a gift, and he spazzes on her because she's like, I don't want you here. And he's like, don't be a bitch, like whatever, like don't you be a bitch, whatever. And causing a scene, making people uncomfortable. The way she describes herself, she has this like tough disposition. And that night, right, she gets a strange phone call, prank call, and it's like somebody using a voice altering thing, whatever, and basically saying like, I'm a fucking, what do you say? Like, I'm a stick my, I mean, down your
Some
throat or
rapey
something.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like some really rapey stuff, whatever. And that's what started this cycle. Obviously, from the audience, we looking like, yo, it gotta be her ex-boyfriend, it gotta be her ex-fiance. Like, is that what you were feeling when you first saw that? Did you feel like it was him? Did you feel like what was you
I
thinking?
didn't feel like it was him because just how they started off. So I felt like that would be an obvious guess for viewers. So
Sure.
I didn't necessarily, and I watch a lot of crime shows, so I didn't feel like it was him at all. I didn't know who it was though.
Okay, yeah, and she obviously didn't know who it was.
Right.
And then so she realizes she feels like she has a stalker at this point, and this guy, like she keeps getting these weird calls. They know where she works. She tells a friend, but like is reluctant to like move forward. So now, if a woman like, so what, like, I don't know, like, how should a woman go about this, right? If they feel like they have a stalker, obviously they should tell people around them, whatever. But like, should the first thing to do is to go to authorities? Should you go to the authorities right away, or are you just going to kind of play it out, like, and just see what happens?
I would play it out, but I would definitely tell the people around me. That's what I thought was weird because I think if I'm remembering correctly, it was a lot of months going on that she was dealing with this before she even told anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at what point do you tell people that you're being harassed? Like that's weird in itself.
Yeah, it is weird in itself. And like, and that's what her friend said. Like, she was like, yo, she was dealing with this. We could tell she was different, but she didn't want to say nothing. But then I think she it was a while, a little bit of time period before she ends up like saying anything to anybody. And then she has a scary incident, and like it just feels like somebody's like following her and things like that. She's one of them people that works hard. Her friend tells her like, yo, you should leave when we leave. You know what I mean? Like, don't be. And she's like, she's the last person to leave the office. And we get, they dramatize it, whatever, and like you see dark shadows, whatever. She's hiding, and she hits this guy with a fire extinguisher, and it was her ex-fiance, whatever.
And it was mad weird. Like, what did he say he was bringing by? He just seen the lights was on.
Yeah, he said he seen the lights was on. He seen her car was there, and was like, yeah, I thought. Oh, he gave her. He had her dad's watch that like she gave it to him, whatever. And he's like, I ain't feel comfortable keeping this, but I just thought
that
it was
like, weird.
It was weird as fuck, right? Like, all right, you see your ex's car at her job, whatever, later than normal. How the hell did he get in the building? First off, like, what kind of establishment is this that
Why are you just driving by her job? Why didn't you just leave it in her mailbox? Why didn't you? I'm confused.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a common occurrence that she was staying. Like, they didn't show her staying working late. Nobody was even in the office, so I can tell that's not a common occurrence.
Yeah.
So why did you even have the inclination to like drive by her job instead of home?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like there was certain things that he could have done to do this. He could have delivered that a different way. But yeah, it just felt creepy, whatever. And it just kind of reinforces a lot of her fears. He walks her to her car. I thought like she was gonna get kidnapped or some shit. Like I thought something crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, he's being nice to her, but like, he was gonna do something. But he's like, he reassures her. He's like, yo, I mean, if you need anything, just call me, whatever. I'm still here for you. You know what I mean? And just that
Right.
ex-boyfriend type
And
stuff.
then she gets in the car, she shuts her door, and she gets a text right after that, and it's
Yeah.
a dick pic
Yeah.
on against her steering wheel.
Yeah, 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 and it's funny because the show they use like a dude, like a toy or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
like we can assume that this guy put his piece on her steering wheel, and so he was in her car, and I'm thinking like, bitch, did you look behind your back seats? Like she didn't even
That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought was going to happen. Like somebody was going to come up from the back seat or something.
yeah, like yo, so this stalker knows where she works, was in her had access to her car, right? Taking weird, explicit pictures on her steering wheel and like just freaky, whatever. So like she is reeling, like I mean, she gets that, whatever. And then the videos continue, calls continue, and now she realizes like this guy has surveillance of her house, whatever, because one of the videos was like right out front of her crib, right? So then at that point, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, well, I thought it was her surveillance that she had, and I
Oh,
was
that
thinking, oh,
he,
it's just a hacker,
a hacker.
because that would also like that would explain him talking through the phone,
Yeah,
him talking through the cameras,
yeah.
and things of that sort. That's what I was thinking.
That was, oh my god. See, that's what I'm saying. Like this
Because then
20,
she gets crazy and she starts putting newspaper against her windows, and
yeah.
he's still showing her like pictures that seem like they could be from a camera.
Yep.
So that's what made me think, oh, this is a hacker.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what, so then she does finally go to the police, and then that's what they think. They think that like, oh, we think it's a tech guy. Because I was thinking like, damn, did this motherfucker implant a camera in her house? But no, so you're saying, so yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
He
because
he
with a
was just,
camera, he would, because he knew she gets a call that her dad died, and he knew he calls like 5 seconds after she gets off the phone, and he says something like, oh, you're gonna be with your dad in heaven.
yeah.
How would he know that unless he's actively in the house, or he's privy to these conversations by hacking her cameras?
Well, all right. So now most surveillance cameras, don't they just collect video? Like, do a lot of like, are they collecting sound now?
No, they collect sound
Okay,
sometimes.
because
I know
I
with my kids, so I have a Blink camera. I guess it depends on what you pay for. So I don't
okay.
pay for the storage, but you can hear in there. Like if I would pay for the storage, because it came with free storage for a little bit, so I could go back and see videos, clips, and you can hear the sound. So, but this was years ago, so I don't know about back
Yeah.
then, but it wasn't decades ago
Yeah,
either.
yeah. It
So
was like, because it was like, I think it started in like 2017, like when she was like
yeah,
going
so
going
I'm
through
pretty
some of
sure,
this.
yeah, because I had got this camera probably around 2020, so I can't see it. Like, yeah, I could see still hearing sound.
Yeah. So she finally goes to police. They think it's probably a tech hacker, you know what I mean? Yeah, she starts spazzing on the neighbors because she's paranoid at this point. Like she's thinking it could be anybody because she's hearing weird noises. Yeah, puts the newspaper on the windows. And then so then while she's talking about how like she's trying to get help from the police, she's supposed to call the police. And then the police officer that's kind of like in charge of this case, or whatever, he starts to hit on her, you know what I mean, and making her feel uncomfortable. So then it's like she feels like she has nobody to kind of assist her because she's already dealing with weirdos, you know what I mean? Somebody, hacking into her shit, whatever, calling her, sending her videos in her car, know where she live. And then the cop that's supposed to be helping you, he trying to hit on you, and he being
Yeah, he
creepy.
said like your perfume smells really good or something. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was him. I'm like, well, that's weird that I was thinking it might have been him all along, and like, he just happened to be assigned, or he made himself assigned to the case. But
Yeah, I mean, and then then yeah, she realizes that her entire house is completely bugged. You know what I mean? Like I said, hacked. Yeah, I guess I wondered if he had hidden cameras in there, like if he was in there because he was like, I'm closer than you think, whatever. And then, she basically, like, I don't know if you, like I said, like before we started recording, if you know, like while she's giving her monologues and talking, this lady, she's shaking the whole time. Like she's just like, yeah, I mean, so she's just rattled. And like, so a couple of things, she didn't like, and this is the problem with this show sometimes, it's like they don't give us enough details, like the people, because she didn't talk about like all the other steps. Like, did she change her number at any given point in time? Like, I mean, like she don't tell, like you would assume she might have, but like it don't seem like she did, like based on what we saw.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is she, getting somebody to move? I mean, she gonna get a roommate or something like that, because she's a middle-aged woman that like lives by herself. So she is completely vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And by the end of it, I mean, we realize that this is unsolved. And she's been getting stalked for 6 years. 6 years. The same, she said this guy has never stopped, whatever, and he hasn't got what he wanted. And so I'm thinking, like, what the fuck are you supposed to do at that point? Like do you move away? What do you do? What is a woman? What's the recourse for a woman, like if she's getting stalked for multiple years and nothing happens? Like,
I don't know, because like even in this day and age, because like how you said that happened in 2017, so it's like we don't have nothing that we could. I don't understand that we don't have nothing that we can track these things.
Yeah.
We be seeing spies from Russia and stuff like that, and we can't see who's stalking this lady. Like we can't figure that out.
Yeah.
Or if they're even here.
Well, yeah, and then it's weird because like typically with a stalker and like, at least, and again, maybe this is what we see in movies, but like I think this is what people experience, like there's gonna be an attack at some point. And she hasn't been attacked or anything like that. So
but then there was that attack, remember, when the door was left open, and then the door's left open. I don't even understand this part. So the door is left open. She sees it on the camera. She runs out the back door. It's the back door that's left open. She runs out the back door and she goes to this like shed that she has.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you go out the door that you didn't previously open. Like, because that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So she goes out there, she goes to the shed, and then she's hiding in the shed, and then you see him trying to hack into the shed, but then you see her, what was that, her friend or something?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I felt like, was that dramatized? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was she really, like, is it her being paranoid, whatever?
That
like,
is true. But I mean, I thought it was because that's when the suggestion came up about you need to move.
Yeah. And like, so then, yeah, you're wondering, because I was even wondering if it's the friend, but I'm like, it can't be the friend if he's also giving monologues a part of this show. Like, I would imagine, like, she trusts
people
this
are
man.
crazy, they say killers pop up at the scene at funerals and stuff.
Oh my God. Well, that'd be sick. I mean, yeah. So yeah, and that friend, the real person seemed cool. The guy that they had acting seemed mad weird. He said, he was like a little too touchy for me. I was
confused. Was one of them her brother?
No, see, no, he just
they were
said
both,
that
she had two male friends.
It was two guys.
Yeah, I want to.
No, that one. It was that black lady, and then it was the guy, like Spanish.
Not being interviewed, but in the acting part, there was two different guys, and I couldn't understand if I think one of them might have been her brother, and one of them was a male friend for sure. But
I don't see, the only two guys I remember in the acting was the ex-fiance and then that Spanish looking guy, and then it was that black lady, whatever. I don't remember another, but maybe I missed that, whatever. But
I feel like maybe I'm tripping. I might be tripping, but so remember at her birthday gathering, the guy that told the ex-fiance, get out of here, like she don't want you here.
Yeah.
He looked different to me than the guy that saved her from the shed.
No, that's the same guy. That was definitely
the same guy.
Yeah, that was the same guy. Yeah, that's why I was like, there was another guy or whatever, but
okay.
But yeah, he said he's protective of her and this and that, whatever. But it's like, how is this nigga there?
It could definitely be him. I'm side-eyeing him because
like how you get there at the same time.
Yeah, the acting was giving. I kind of like am in love with you, low key.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. So. I don't know, man. But
and then we learned she moved and she's still dealing with this for 6 years. She's still dealing with this when they was shooting 6 years later.
Yeah. Like, so then what do you? Yeah. So I would imagine. So you move, change your phone number. I think if you get a security system, you almost have to put in somebody else's name, because like if somebody is able to hack it and like maybe know your name and like figure out your account or whatever, like and the thing is though too, she has a stalker that has all this access to her. Like she didn't talk about like her identity being stolen, or like, yeah, I mean, you would think it'd be
Right.
like, you would think it'd be a snowball effect, you know what I mean, of
Right.
like, you know, identity theft and this and this and this. And it was just, but it's just like creepy looking at her, and I guess an attack or just scares, whatever. But like,
I
I
think
don't,
it's someone close to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it's that friend that was even being interviewed.
that would be
It's
sick.
someone close to her, because how does this happen? Or it's like a hacker, but see, those were my two theories. Like it's either someone close to her or it's a hacker that might be, all the way in China, but then she has these physical events that happen.
Yeah, yeah,
So it can't be just a random hacker unless the friend is working with a random hacker.
yeah. So I guess I want to ask you, like, is there a certain demographic of women that are specifically vulnerable to this type of like crime and stalking and things like that? Do you think that there's a certain, that like, is it, based on race, based on age, based on if they have kids, single stat, like, do you feel like there's a certain demographic of women that this tends to happen to more than not?
Oh,
Or
that tends to happen. No, I feel like it's like all up in the air for real. Because
it's
you
all,
see different demographics. You see women with kids dealing with stalking. You see single women dealing with stalking. You see older women dealing with stalking, because this lady was clearly older. So I think just the demographic is women in general.
yeah, yeah. So what can we do to protect women? Like, yeah, what are some, I don't know. It's a woman buying her own house. Yeah, I mean, that's it's a accomplishment. You know what I mean? But like, if you ain't got kids and stuff like that, I just feel like you are putting yourself in a vulnerable position. Like everybody needs a place to live. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like if I was a woman, that would be something I'm second guessing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, like, especially in the suburbs. I mean, maybe it's different in the city. Some people might think, certain demographics of people might think like, no, the city's more dangerous. But I'm like, no, when you out, again, suburban areas, ain't no street lights. You know what I mean?
Urban areas are more random versus city is more targeted, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Like somebody knows, like, I'm gonna get
Yeah,
this.
somebody's doing this to you for a reason in the city, but suburban, it's like seems like it's more a random act of occurrence versus them knowing you and everything.
Yeah, because like in the city, way more witnesses, way more chances of getting caught and being discovered. In a suburban area, yeah, you can literally break in somebody. People be leaving there, yeah, because the way she was talking, like, oh, I gotta lock doors and lock
Yeah,
windows,
I
and
was
I'm
like,
like,
you
bitch, what? Like,
should have been locking them doors.
you been locking them doors. Like, who the fuck do you think you are that you ain't gotta lock your doors at night? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how people be living that comfortably. Like, that's a privilege right there. Like,
Yeah, it definitely is a privilege. I don't think there's a way to prevent it, but I feel like because I was going to ask you, matter of fact, well, I wasn't going to ask you, I was going to tell you because you know how I am. Um, but once you said you have a gun, I have my gun license, but I don't have a gun, and I want to go to the gun range though, so I need you to like take me to the gun range
okay,
so I can like see what I want to get and etc. Hope maybe next year because this year is hectic. We're
yeah,
at the end of the year, it's hectic. But
yeah,
yeah, I feel like we just need men in the men in that are involved in women's lives to like, you know, act like just get them acclimated with guns and
okay,
gun licenses. And I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if you're a felon, you might not be able to get you probably can't get a gun license,
yeah.
but you
Yeah.
can get a knife, machete, or something. I
I
don't
know, yeah,
know.
and that's what she said. She didn't, because she lives in New York, so New York, the laws about guns are a lot more tight. So like,
Mm.
and I don't know if it's more so New York City or the state, whatever. But yeah, she talked about how she has all this pepper spray and tasers and knives or
Like
whatever.
pepper spray. I don't even understand the point in that because I feel like when you pepper spray somebody, everybody gets pepper sprayed. You get pepper sprayed because you know
Right?
it. Like, I just feel like it's such a dumb tool.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say on a real life like scariness, I think this is one of the more scary ones, whatever, because this is
Mm.
like a real danger, a real fear. Overall though, how would you like, rate
Rate
the
the series.
show? Yeah, rate the series. Yeah.
Oh, I did want to tell you, I found out in one of the comments that what does it say? It says produced by John Carpenter or
Yeah.
co-produced or something.
Okay.
He only had a hand in one episode. So that's why. He only had a hand in one episode, and I want to say they said it was this episode.
Oh, it was this
So,
episode. Oh, I would
I
think it would
want to
be
say it
Money
was,
Man or
yeah.
something like that. Okay.
So this is why they was able to put his name on it, but he really didn't have a hand in most of the episodes. But I would give it a 4
4 out of what?
out of 10.
Yeah, I would say, this was a miss. I would say I've seen like, better, like a little bit better things. Yeah, like, you said before last episode, if, we could watch like Unsolved Mysteries and probably, it'd be a little bit better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, so I can agree with that. I'll go with a 4, maybe a 5. It was entertaining, but like I said, from what we were trying to get from it, I don't think we got what we thought we were going to get from it though. So
yeah, it didn't live up to the hype at all.
Yeah, so I think I'll be, if we do a recap, I'll be picking the next shows. Now, no, you know what I'm watching right now? What? And this is where it's on Peacock. That Friend of the Family.
Is that a show or a movie?
It's a show, and apparently there was a documentary on this thing. And I think the documentary, it was popular. Maybe it was Netflix or something like that. It was like called like Kidnapped in Plain Sight, whatever. But it's about, oh my God, this guy is a sicko. Like this guy is a sicko. This guy has a family. Has a full family, whatever, and then like he's like the new like his family moves in, whatever, into this new neighborhood, and he takes a liking to this one girl that's in his neighbor's family, and he kidnaps her. But then like when they go across the long haul of it, like he had incidents with the wife, he had this strange incident with the husband.
So they turned it into, you never watched the movie? It was like a documentary on Netflix that people were talking about like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And it was about this.
Yeah, no, I never seen it. And somebody was telling me like, oh, that sound like that documentary. I'm like, I don't know what that documentary is, but yeah, they made a show and it's on Peacock. I'm on like episode 4.
You gotta watch the documentary, because the documentary, I mean, the TV show probably isn't far off, because the documentary was fucking crazy. They were like interviewing,
like the dad had to like, and I was like, yo. Never, like I would never, like I've never been propositioned to do.
I feel like if I would see this series before I seen the documentary, I would think it was fabricated.
Okay.
But since I've already seen the documentary and I've seen the real people talking about this, it's fucking crazy.
It is fucking crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's that WPS, man. I don't know, man. That shit don't happen to us. I'm telling you, it just don't happen to us. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so all right, so I mean, we'll think about it. You know what I mean, maybe come back with something else. You know what I mean, we're gonna do our research. You know what I mean, dig into something. Hopefully, I like when it's something new and we can kind of go week by week. But if it's something,
what's December, like the first week of December, Canaan. I forget. Did you say you like that or no?
I do. I love Kanan. Yeah. So I gotta get a Stars login. I might bite the bullet if they run into like a $2 for 6 months.
It's Black Friday. They special.
Hey, I'll get back on Stars. I'll catch up on Force and then slide into Kanan. We probably not gonna get another season of P Valley. We might not.
I don't think. Yeah.
Well, you know why?
It seems like it might be a wrap. Because of the writer's strike?
No, not the writer's. So people think it's because of the writer's strike. They have a copyright infringement lawsuit on them. They stole the script like from an actual play, like and they got found like they stole a lot of parts from this play. And so it's not original. Like it's not an original about it. Like it was a black woman like made this play, and they was just stealing plot points and all that, whatever. And so I don't know what.
So what do you think would have been? Do you think they would have been good if they would have put the producer of the play involved in it on the and giving her a cut? Yeah,
you got it. Yeah, you definitely.
People just be being greedy.
Yep, people being greedy, people being opportunistic, and like oh, this is a good idea, and thinking like you could just get over on somebody, and it's like, But yeah, it's just like it's crazy. But yeah, we'll see what's up, and then we'll try to come back with something. But in the meantime, y'all could we still got recaps of F-Boy Island that we going through. Me and my man Levi. And we just rocking, man, getting into this holiday season coming up, and just giving y'all content. But But yeah, man. So stay tuned. We still got another episode to put out too. Episode 5 of this recap of Suburban Screams. This will be out. And then yeah, man, y'all tune in and catch us. This is a 280 Plus podcast, y'all. We out. Peace. All right.